Some of my most popular videos have one thing in common: privacy. I realize, whoa, I'm not the only one looking for privacy. So it's not that we don't want to be a good neighbor. It just feels nice and cozy to be in your little cocoon, in your little spot, right? I'm going to show you two, actually three, maybe even four different ideas of what you can do for privacy at home. Idea number one is going to be the curtains. So there used to be a window that you can't actually see anymore. It's actually pretty blocked by the other ideas I'm going to give you. But one of the videos I made was about these curtains that I purchased from Amazon. I put a regular curtain rod right there. All the ideas that everybody gave me about how to keep them from blowing were awesome. So thank you to the entire community for doing that, because they were blowing all over the place. And I ended up putting another rod at the bottom, and that actually solved the problem. These have been up for a while. They're pretty good. And we get pollen and we get all sorts of stuff. Let's look at idea number two, which is by far my most popular video, and for good reason. Today we are talking about privacy trees or bushes or hedges that you can create. As you can see, there's a window there that eventually I'd like to have some privacy. I love the Eagleston hollies. These trees have been around for about a year now, and they are growing by leaps and bounds. And I love them so much. Look at how much they are now covering that window, whereas before they were barely above the fence. Awesome. Just so much privacy. There's the curtains right there, right? The trees right here. I want to talk about something that, oh, I got so many comments about. These trees do not invade anyone. These are in my property, right? They are easy to control. I'm filming this in December and they are full of berries, and I have lots of birds coming and chirping in the morning. And the birds get all those berries way before they get to go on the ground. So when you look down at the ground, there's none of them there. So I'm creating like a wall. Do you see that? Let me show you the other side. I'm currently using a normal hedge trimmer, but eventually I will probably need to use an extension pole. That's fine because I am getting exactly the look that I was going for. There was a storm and this one actually broke, but I trimmed them. I actually got on a ladder and I trimmed them, and they're growing. So as I trim, it keeps promoting growth for them. Putting up an evergreen like this one, a loquat tree, is idea number three. 4 years ago, this is what it looked like. I cannot believe how much this has grown. Look how many flowers there are. There's so many. This is going to turn into fruit. I really wish you could smell this. Yummy, the smell. So sometimes the wind will blow to the porch. So there's the porch, there's the sofa, the curtains, the loquat, and the holly. Pretty cool, huh? We do trim it so that it does grow. They like a little haircut trim. Actually, I had one myself. We all need a trim. The trees do too, to invigorate them, to make them come back alive, to rejuvenate them. But wow, what a fantastic tree. I probably will make another video just on this tree for people who want to know all of the details about loquats. I'm going to list in the description several other evergreen trees that you could use for your all your interest and privacy. So there's the loquat. Wow, what a wonderful tree. I think everybody who can have a loquat should have a loquat. As a matter of fact, I planted a baby one right here on the other side. So this loquat is a baby, and the other loquat is right there. There's a lemon tree right here that is doing really great this winter. And this actually does give us a little bit of privacy. You can see it from the side right now. So finding something that kind of breaks up the space, even if it's not full privacy, can actually give you some privacy. Let's walk ahead to the bottle brush. This is another evergreen that I absolutely love, and it's very common here in the coastal areas. This tree attracts so many butterflies and bees. It is a pollinator heaven. From the inside of the house, you can also see that in the kitchen dining area, we do have from this window another tree that you can see. This is on the other side of the house, but it also covers that window that otherwise would have been able to see into our uh, kitchen dining area. Now, here we're coming up on another evergreen tree called the podocarpus. And this one is very common also in the coastal areas because it is a tree that can grow pretty fast and it can be kept as a bush or can be trimmed to be more like a tree. I have trimmed the bottom here and kept it like a tree, and look how fast that thing has grown. Idea number 4 is this beautiful viburnum hedge. When I moved here 4 years ago, I asked a nursery owner, "What is one of the fastest growing evergreen bushes that you have?" And he mentioned the sweet viburnum. Boy, was he right about them growing fast. This was 4 years ago. I was not expecting so much growth. It's been up to 8 feet, and I've had to trim them to look like this. Wow. Let's head to the back real quick so I can show you another variety of evergreen bush called ligustrum. So now this ligustrum is either used as a bush from the ground up, or you can train it to be a tree, kind of like I have done here. Why? Because, well, there's people that walk around, there's a little path for them to walk, and they get to look into my yard. So I've trained it to be clear at the bottom so I can see the water, but eventually the top will be a little bit more private looking into my yard. And here's another loquat that will get bushier and bigger, and it will also give us privacy so that people don't get to browse too much when they look into my property. See how there's so many options to have a private garden? And it gets built better and better over time, over the years, because the trees will grow. There's always this saying that it takes about 3 years. The first year is the sleeper, second year creeper, third year leaper. So I always say that it takes about 3 years for you to really have that privacy you're looking for, or just start seeing like leaps and bounds in the growth of all the trees that you plant. So you could start with some curtains to give you immediate privacy, and then do something even more amazing with some plants or some hedges, some trees, really cool evergreen and interest throughout the years. And when you stagger your plants, that actually even gives you more interest. You may not want a straight hedge all the time. So back there, close to the sheds, I also have a cherry tree and a Chinese pistache tree. We've got layers upon layers, and that always gives you privacy. Kind of the same concept here. The loquat and the hollies are doing a little bit of a teamwork to make sure that I have plenty of privacy. The sooner you get to plant these things, the faster they will grow. This is how you create bliss at home and in the garden. See you next time.